So in today's video, we want to talk about 3 simple things for beginners. When you talk about saving and budgeting, we're going to dive into it. So if you are pro at saving, this might not be the video for you. But if you are just an everyday person who listen, I want to save some money at the end of the year. I'm at the end of 2024 and I'm like, what did I save? I didn't really save anything. So I want to encourage you, watch this video to the end. The tips are going to be so easy. You will be surprised. No, why are we budgeting? Why are we saving? All right, so budgeting and saving, for me, it is important because it keeps you in line. It avoids overspending. Because have you ever just gone to the grocery store and just started just picking up, just driving to your cart and something catch your eye, then you pick it up, and when you go home you're like, what? Why did I buy this? And you have that item until you ended up throwing it out because you never had a budget in place. You didn't have your checklist, you didn't have the things that you really wanted. So for today's video, it's important that you listen, because I'm going to tell you 3 things that are so simple. You're like, I'm going to try it. I know you're going to try it. So it's also important, the saving and budgeting helps you to identify areas in which you can set back and save more. I've seen it, I've proven it, and it has worked for me. So I'm not telling you something that has never worked. I'm telling you something, strategies that worked for me. I've tried it, I've proven it, and it works. If it works for me and it works for many of my followers, I know it will work for you. So 2024, I think at the start of the year, we did have that discussion. And while to the end of the year, and even in our live stream this morning, the 21st of December, one of our subscribers was like, Trina, I've seen where it worked for me. I came across your video sometime and I started to follow some of those principles, and I've seen where it has worked. So I'm not telling you something that doesn't work. I'm telling you a proven strategy. So take a book, take a pencil, let's dive into point number 1. Have you ever heard of the 50-30-20 rule? Write that down. 50, 30, 20. What does the 50% represent? Well, this represents a portion of your income. 50% of your income, you're going to put it down for your needs. What are your needs? Remember, the Bible said God promised to provide our needs according to his riches in glory. It means these are things that you cannot do without. You need them. They are the essentials of life, like food, shelter, clothing. These are things you absolutely need on your everyday. So you're gonna make sure 50% of your income, so your rent to pay, your light bill to pay, your food bill. So this is what most of your income, 50% of your income, is going to be put aside. So you're gonna write down what's the cost of those things, how much am I spending in these areas, and you're gonna make that list and budget. The 30% will be for your wants, and this is gonna be like maybe like entertainment, or maybe like dining out, or just additional stuff that you may want to do throughout the month. So you can budget 30%. Then you have 20%. 20% is for savings, and so for that 20%, 10 out of that should go towards your tithes. And I would say out of the other 30%, you also want to do like goodwill, things that you want to give out, and your offering, free will offering. Make sure those are a part of it, because I'm telling you, tithing works. So 10% of your salary should go towards the tithing, and then another 10% towards savings. It may not seem a lot, but I promise you they actually work. So 50% towards your needs, things you cannot do without, another 30% your wants, 20% towards savings. The number 2 things I want to share with you is the auto techniques of savings. This is where you're going to set up a system that's going to cause your money to just go straight to a savings. You don't touch it, you don't see it. That way you'll not spend it. So you'll basically budget what comes into your account. So don't budget on the part that you're putting towards the saving. I've tried it. It works. Do not put a large amount. Put a small amount, something that you can do without. Something that if you put it aside, you're not going to miss it. If you're going to put aside, say, $5,000, but then you're going to go back and take $3,000 from it, it means you can only afford $2,000 to put aside. So put aside the $2,000, and if something happens and you have an additional left over at the end of the month, then you can just channel that into savings. So make sure it's auto set up. And then there's this one that they call the envelope savings. Now, while I was doing the research, I actually learned this one. It was something that I practiced, but I didn't know it was actually, there was actually a name for it. So what this is that it's an envelope system. So you get like 5 or so envelope, any amount of envelopes you want, physical envelopes, and then you're gonna write on each of them. So maybe write grocery on one, light on one, entertainment on one, goodwill on one. So whatever those things are, and then each of them you're going to itemize how much money you're going to put in each. So each time you're going to go to shopping, you take from that. Each time you're going to give to somebody, give goodwill, you take from that. At the end of the month, you will see, did I finish everything in all the envelopes, or where's the shortfall, where's, where do I have an excess? And you can channel those money into savings or into another envelope, because if you realize you're overspending in one, maybe by the 20th of the month you complete, say, your food bill, but the entertainment aspect of it you didn't touch. So it means you might need to, say, cut your entertainment in half and put a portion of it towards food. Or you can look on the food that you're purchasing and see, am I buying what I really, really want, or am I cooking too much? Am I throwing out too much food? So this actually leads me to my next point. You can cut back on non-essential items. So that's point number 3. Cut back on non-essential items. So like some subscriptions that you may have, you are not using them. Some of you not using certain subscription you have on every month, you're still paying it. Why? Take it off, and if you decide to use it a particular month, then put it on for that month, but take it off back for the other month. If you use it maybe once for the month, chances are you can actually do without it. I have a friend of mine who said they actually had the internet. She don't watch TV. Her husband don't watch TV. Her son hell don't watch TV. So she was like, and I think she was paying like over $150 a month for that. She actually took it off, and she was grateful for that. So you could actually try that. You have other subscription in other things, not just cable or internet, but other things that you'll do subscription. Take them off. They might seem small, but they do add up. So this is the first tip this is the first series. I'm going to do another series where I encourage you how to budget and save. So make sure you subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and you can also give this video a thumbs up, and I definitely see you in part 2 in the series of saving and budgeting. Bye for now.